The ANC veterans have just conducted a 3-day lekgotla here in Johannesburg, and the veterans are now briefing the media on the outcomes of that gathering. Let's listen in.
So there's a generational mix, and you can see the racial composition of comrades who are here. Our comrades from all racial groups, as we can see. It's not only Africans as the ANC currently is, but we want to change that character of the ANC, which is not the real character of the ANC. The National Task Team, together with office bearers of the Provincial Task Team, came together at the lekgotla to consider issues facing the country and the African National Congress, and as well as to develop a roadmap to a properly constituted national conference. What is important is that we have to bring all the provincial task teams that we have established in the 7 provinces. We brought in 5 national office bearers from the 7 provinces, and we brought in entity national task teams members to this gathering, which started yesterday morning. A summary of the key deliberations and decisions is reflected below. Challenges facing the South Africa and the ANC. The lekgotla acknowledged that while strides have been made in achieving the national democratic revolution, our problems are deep-seated and formidable, and our task is incomplete. It is also acknowledged that the ANC, as a key instrument to achieve transformation, is seized with addressing internal problems and strife which have hampered progress and slowed down the pace of achieving a better life for all South Africans. Concern was expressed that many in the ANC no longer see themselves as servants of the people. That's what we felt as veterans. Veterans who contributed to the liberation of our country recognize their ongoing responsibility to address the challenges in the ANC and the country with urgency and determination. With this in mind, the lekgotla deliberated on the role of veterans and the Veterans League. Role of the Veterans League. The lekgotla committed veterans across the country to carry out 3 urgent-related tasks. Firstly, to rebuild the Veterans League branches. We don't have Veterans League branches. Firstly is to establish and build Veterans League branches of the Veterans League and the ANC in the battle of ideas, in developing and modeling what kind of the ANC cadre we want to see, in proposing concrete steps that the mother body should take and be held accountable for. The lekgotla participants recommitted that veterans establish their that the veterans' role envisaged by the Veterans League Constitution is to advise and guide the movement, particularly on the issues relating to integrity, ethics, and values. Thirdly, to participate actively in resolving local issues facing our communities, including through participation of ANC branches and community structures, and guiding ANC cadres and councillors. This is in line with the imperative of the ANC to reconnect with the masses of our people and to win back their trust and respect as proposed by the Veterans League National Task Team at the 55th National Conference of the African National Congress. Rebuilding of the Veterans League. lekgotla participants from the National Task Team and PTTs committed to build a credible, disciplined, non-factional, and legitimate and united organization from branches level up. The lekgotla confirmed a roadmap to the national conference which set out the process of membership recruitment. With the Veterans League, we recruit. People don't just join. Immediately, if you are 60 years of age and 40 years of you have 40 years uninterrupted service, we then call you and say, comrades, now you have reached that stage. Can you join now the Veterans League? And what we do, we vet every comrade who comes in. And so that's what we're committed to. And also, we make sure that we establish credible branches and non-factional branches of the African National Congress. All veterans who are 60 years of age and have been involved for more than 40 years in the ANC, including the underground and mass democratic movement, trade union movement, and faith-based organizations associated with the Congress of Movement are eligible to become members of the Veterans League. The lekgotla agreed that our initial target should be to establish 1 branch per ANC region or sub-region, depending on the circumstances in each province. Renewal of the ANC. The previous Veterans League NEC, whose term ended in October 2022, as well as the current entity, have been seized with guiding the renewal of the ANC as agreed at the 54th National Conference. It was acknowledged that the most significant role that the veterans can play in the renewal of the ANC is to support and enable the reconnection of the ANC with the masses. of our people through concrete programs of action focusing on local service delivery issues. The lekgotla further considered concrete proposals to be presented to the ANC to renew the ANC, including in respect of elections, consequence management, that is very important. We make sure that there is consequence management within the African National Congress, constitutional amendments, and modernization of the organization itself. There is also a process underway to consider constitutional amendments to our constitution, which can be adopted at the National Conference and enable the renewal of the Veterans League itself. Key policy issues. The National Task Team has an active policy committee considering both issues facing the country and issues facing veterans. The comrade who's leading the NTT policy committee is Comrade Frank Chigane, who's seated there, and their role is to make sure that we look at policy issues that are affecting our organization and the country. This includes the energy crisis, service delivery issues, and internally the welfare of veterans. The lekgotla considered the challenges of dysfunctional municipalities as well as the current political instability facing some of the municipalities, especially in the metros. We are aware that we've got 42 dysfunctional municipalities. Now, we as veterans are committed ourselves that will ensure that those municipalities are fixed, not by civil servants, not by us intervening directly, but making sure that branches of the Veterans League are encouraged to participate in fixing those municipalities. The Veterans League was concerned about the coalitions being formed without adherence to principle or the imperative to deliver services to our people. We are worried about the coalitions because they are not based, some of them, on principles, but we are saying that all coalitions that we enter into, they must be based on principles and values of our organization. It was further concerned that reliance on coalitions will signal that we are not confident in winning future elections as the ANC. We as the African National Congress are confident that we will win the elections because we know why our people stayed away. Because we failed them in service delivery, we made sure there was no accountability, but we are committed to ensure that there is service delivery from the bottom and there is accountability. Indeed, the Veterans League believes that a renewed and strengthened ANC must be capable of outrightly winning elections, and if we do not succeed, any political arrangement must be guided by a principled commitment to deliver to the people. Call to veterans across the country. All veterans are called upon to join the Veterans League and participate in branches that are being set up. We're going to set up branches of the Veterans League throughout the whole country itself. All veterans that liberated South Africa through organization, mass mobilization, armed struggle, as well as mobilization of international allies. Veterans embody the best traditions of the movement, including seeing themselves as servants of the people, valuing non-racialism and non-sexism, and understanding the imperatives of appropriate strategy and tactics for any given situation. The call of the current structures of the Veterans League is, I quote, "You served without fear, putting your lives and livelihoods at stake. You are now needed to take forward the struggle for socio-economic transformation of our country. You are required to set the tone of the movement to ensure that the ANC rebuilds the trust and regains the respect of the people so that it can continue to be the ruling and the serving party in our country. Join the Veterans League and these branches so that you can play an active and meaningful role in fulfilling the historical mission of the movement. The ANC lives and the ANC leads." Close quotes. Comrades, that's our the declaration of the ANC Veterans League, and so we'll email it to all of you. As soon as you leave, we'll make sure that it's emailed to all of you. Thanks. Here with me, I have Comrade Meg Maharaj.
That update coming from the ANC Veterans League, who've just completed a 3-day lekgotla. We'll bring you highlights of that press briefing over the coming hours.